What's up, everybody? Charlie Marlow here. Going to do a quick, short video as the Cardinals offseason has now officially begun with the World Series ending last night. So I want to get your comments, your questions about the Cardinals. What do you think the Cardinals need to do this offseason to potentially end up where the Phillies and the Astros did in the World Series? To me, you got to have an ace. When you look at the Cardinals pitching staff, very good throughout the regular season. The way the pitching staff is comprised right now, do you see that as a pitching staff that can march through, let's say, 3 or 4 playoff series for the entire month of October and get you to win the World Series? Very solid pitching staff. In my opinion, a lot of 2s, a lot of 3s. When you see what the Astros and Phillies rolled out there, and I know towards the end, Wheeler, Nola, they had some bumps in the road, but you have ace stuff, big-time strikeout guys. With the Astros, obviously, Verlander rough early, and a very rough overall World Series stat line, but comes through in his second start. He's going to win the Cy Young. Christian Javier, part of that combined no-hitter, and Framber Valdez. You have ace-type pitchers, guys that can just straight up shut you down. And that's where, when I look at the Cardinals pitching staff, you don't see as much strikeouts. You don't see as much swing and miss type guys, pitch to contact, guys that can be really, really good. I just think it's hard to roll those guys into 20 starts in an October against really good lineups and have those type of pitchers who may only strike out 4 or 5 guys a night get you to the World Series and to win the World Series. So you need an ace. Offense was pretty dang good. I know a lot of people want another bat, which I'm fine with. I just wonder where they're going to find that bat, because I still think the Cardinals are very high on their outfielders. Now, you may not agree with them, but Dylan Carlson, who was a little banged up at the end, he's going to get another shot. They love Lars Nootbaar. Now, I think some trades are going to be made. All these names I'm bringing up, I don't think they're all going to be with the team to start spring training. But Tyler O'Neill, with a couple more years of control, if he's with the team, he's going to get another shot. And he was a league average offensive player last year. The issue was not staying on the field. Only played just under 100 games or so. Catcher, that's the one position that I would go big with, and not necessarily in free agency. If you're looking at whether it's Sean Murphy with the A's or some of these catchers with the Toronto Blue Jays, I just think you have some trade partners, especially a Blue Jays team where maybe they're trying to win more right now, and they would take a major league piece. Remember, Dakota Hudson, I don't think the Cardinals are in a spot with him where they have to keep him. Now, how much value does Dakota Hudson have? Jack Flaherty, 1 year of control left. I don't see Jack Flaherty as the type of pitcher that, say, the Oakland A's would want in a deal. The Oakland A's are going to want young, controllable players. The A's aren't ready to win. A team like the Blue Jays, they're ready to win next year. And they have a bunch of young, good catchers. The shortstop position, I love the idea of Trey Turner. The fact that you could have somebody who's either leadoff, top of the lineup, plays a premium position in shortstop. It'll cost a lot of money, but if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to spend money on a star shortstop or center fielder or catcher. I love Trey Turner. I just think the Cardinals also are so high on Mason Wynn. They look at him potentially as their everyday starting shortstop beginning in 2024. And so from that standpoint, maybe they go veteran backup type to split time with Tommy Edman for 2023. Catcher, I'd go big on, 100%. And you do probably need another bat to lengthen out the lineup so it's not just Arenado and Goldie. You look at the Astros lineup, that's a longer lineup. You look at the Phillies, they're 1 through 5. Pretty dang good. I know Nick Castellanos didn't have a great regular season, but you got some guys on paper that do scare you, like a Schwarber, who led the league in home runs. JT Realmuto is a really, really good player. Obviously, Bryce Harper is an MVP caliber player. Rhys Hoskins can hit you 30 bombs. When right, Nick Castellanos is also a 30-bomb hitter. So, Cardinals, look, they're in a good spot, but it's also it's tough sometimes to move from that, really good competitive 88 to 92 to 93 win team and then climb up to that spot where you're really knocking on the door each year to win a World Series. And you talk about the bat. Now, to me, I'd like for that bat to be a left-handed hitter. But if Jordan Walker is just on fire in spring training, I don't see how the Cardinals leave him down in AAA. Now, are they going to do some service time manipulation and bring him right back up? I mean, we'll see on that. But the need for a bat in the outfield, the trajectory of Jordan Walker, and if he goes in spring training and just crushes the baseball, I think it's going to be really difficult to leave that man behind. So we shall see. I think it's going to be just a really interesting offseason for the Cardinals. I think John Mozeliak is more active in the trade market than he is in the free agent market. At this point, do you move on from Paul DeJong? He's making $9 million, but that's essentially dead money. There's no real value coming back if you move him, but if you can put him in a deal, I just see John Mozeliak making a trade for a big-time catcher with control, a guy that could be here for the next 2, 3, 4 years. That's what I think John Mozeliak does. I also think either one or both of Dakota Hudson and Jack Flaherty get moved. And I know, look, Jack Flaherty, in my opinion, is still your best chance to have an ace pitcher for 2023. But the fact that I don't think he's going to stay with the Cardinals beyond 2023, do you move him now? Do you try to get more pieces? Do you flip him to a contender who could give you a player or two with much more control beyond 2023? I think that would be a good move for the Cardinals. I do think Dakota Hudson gets moved. At this point, you probably move on from Paul DeJong. I do like the fact, though, some people think this is a negative. I think the Cardinals have a ton of interchangeable parts position player-wise. Now, they need to sort themselves out, but it's not a bad thing to have Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan, who won a Gold Glove. I think Tommy Edman should have won the Gold Glove. But Lars Nootbaar is ascending. I think he's been better than anybody expected. Juan Yepez as a potential DH. I'm still high on Nolan Gorman. I don't think you just look at a guy in his first year and say, he's not going to turn into this player we thought. He very well could still be this next year a 25, 30 home run hitter. Carlson, O'Neill. Again, I understand you're saying this is a broken record. I've heard this before, but you still have a ton of talent there. And I think you got to let those guys sort themselves out with the fact that, Albert's gone. You got a DH spot open. It's Nolan Gorman's second year, so he should come up with some more confidence. Brendan Donovan was really good his first year. You saw Juan Yepez with a big homer in the postseason. He is most likely a DH, not a great defender, but you do have 5, 6, 7 guys. If you add in O'Neill and Dylan Carlson, you have a lot of talent, and it's up to them to basically sort it out by who's healthy and who's productive in spring training. So I'll end the video on this. First of all, get your comments in. I'm going to do a video this week where I kind of respond to all your guys' comments, questions about the Cardinals, but also getting back to the World Series. I wanted the Phillies to win. They seem like a team of destiny. Nobody likes the Astros with the cheating scandal and all that, but the fact that Dusty Baker gets a World Series as a manager. I'd forgotten he had a World Series as a player with the Dodgers back in 1981. I looked that up today. So 19 years as a player, did win a World Series with the Dodgers in 1981. But in his 25th year as a manager, Dusty Baker finally gets that coveted World Series championship with the Houston Astros. I know we don't like the Astros and the cheating and the trash cans and Altuve and Bregman and all those guys. I like Verlander because he was a Detroit Tigers guy. My family, they love the Tigers. My dad was rooting for the Astros and Justin Verlander. But the fact that in Dusty we trusty, 25 years, a quarter of a century as a big league manager, finally gets that World Series championship, I can be happy about that. All right, if you got this far, please give us a like, throw us a comment, and subscribe. The subscriptions really help the creators here on YouTube. I really appreciate it. And get your comments in. We'll do some more videos this week about the Cardinals offseason. Have a great Sunday, everybody.